It's the grandson of Right Thought, and welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. I'd like to pose this question to you today, flockulators. Solomon said his soul was seeking for something. And throughout this seeking, out of 1,000 men, he found one. And out of 1,000 women, he found none. My question is, what do you think he means by this, little flock? Now, as I've told you guys before, the book Ecclesiastes, where I'm quoting from, it means the called out. That word ek means out from. Ek means out from. Ecclesiastes, the called out. The ones who are called out of the world, who are called into his marvelous light. You see? Those who are called into the marvelous light are called into a newness of life. And when you're called into a newness of life, you have a new mind, don't you? With a new way of thinking, don't you? Let this mind be in you that is in Christ. So do you see? It's about being adopted into a new person and into a new family because you're a new person. Like Yahusha said, my mother and my brother are those who do the will of I am. Do you know the will of the Father? If you don't know it, then you can't do it. Well, those who know it are those who are called out into this newness that I'm describing to you, little flock. So when Solomon says, out of 1,000 men I found one, what does he mean? Now, there should be two interpretations of that verse that I've quoted. The old way of thinking and the converted Christ mind way of thinking. Do you see what I mean? Obviously, Ecclesiastes are those who are written to, it's written to those who are called out into the newness of the mind. So it's that second interpretation that is the right one. But we know that there will be one that will come before it. I hope you guys can hear what the grandson's saying to you today. There are two nations, I always say it, two manner of people. The elder shall serve the younger. So the first one understanding that you have is weaker. See there? The first understanding that you have is carnal. See there? The first understanding that you have is fleshly. See that? The first understanding that you have ultimately is death. Did you know that? Well, now you do. That's the first mindset you had. It was death. So you interpreted everything through that lens. So do you think you can understand what the Spirit is saying if you have a death mindset? Of course you can't. You are at enmity against love. Love is life. When you're in love, you're in life and peace. You're not stressed. You're not angry. You ain't depressed when you're in love. Matter of fact, you're free from all of those things. In other words, you're free from death. See? So back to the original question. What does Solomon mean when he says, out of 1,000, I found one man? And out of 1,000 women, I found none. Well, here at the School of Marvelous Light, like I said, to prove that we're the School of Marvelous Light, we're going to help you see it clearly so that you can understand what it means for you in your life. Out of all the thoughts that there are out there, there's only one righteous one. Out of all the thoughts that come to you on a daily basis, hear me good, because this is wisdom speaking to you. Out of all of the thoughts that come to you throughout your day, there's only one righteous one. Your soul is the one seeking for it. Don't forget that part, because that's what he said. Now remember when Christ said, I come to give you rest for your souls? Is Christ a man? So out of all the men that there were, which one do you think you should listen to guide your thoughts and how you should think on a daily basis? Out of all the men there have ever been, how many do you think you should listen to? Look how easy this is to understand when the light is shining. Something that's so difficult to understand becomes so easy to understand. Well, we're getting to that easy part right now with what I'm saying to you. Your soul is the one searching through these 1,000. Your soul needs something. What does it need? It needs rest. Isn't that right, little flock? Your soul is seeking for rest. If it's seeking, it can't rest. I gave you guys this mystery. I'll give it to you again since it pertains to this. Saul was a Pharisee, correct? Saul of Tarsus, he was called. And he went about persecuting Christ, persecuting Christ in the church, right? That's what it says. But then he was converted. Do you see what I mean? And his sin changed, his judgment changed, and his righteousness changed. Didn't it? And he was no longer called Saul. He was now called Paul. Okay, well, to understand this deeper, why I'm bringing this up, you must know the name and the meaning of the name. Saul means to inquire or to ask. So when you're searching for something, don't you ask? Like if you're searching for a location and you got lost, you pull over at the gas station, don't you start to inquire and ask? But if you already knew, would you ask anybody? Come on. Come on. Let the church rejoice. Would you ask anybody if you knew? No. But since you don't know, that's why you ask. That's the name Saul, see? But once you get the answer you were searching for, then you stop asking. What do you think the word Paul means? The name Paul. What do you think it means? It means to stop. So then do you see what I'm saying to you? Isn't it wonderful and beautiful? Isn't it easy to see it? Paul doesn't search anymore. He's now got rest for his searching. You see that there? Well, throughout your life, you're going to search and inquire through all kinds of thoughts and all kinds of feelings. You see that? You're going to search through them looking for the ones that will bring you rest for your soul. Satisfaction, in other words. I'm satisfied. I'm satiated. My cup runneth over is what the Bible calls it. See, when your cup is running over, you don't need anything, do you? You don't lack anything, do you? And when you don't need or lack anything, how do you feel? That's the question. How would you feel? That's my question for all of you who are listening to me. Because through listening to me, it should cause a shift to take place inside of you. In the way you think now should be changed, and in the way you feel should be changed from listening to my word. Do you see? We want to create a converted person, just like from Saul to Paul. We want to convert you from your inquiring and asking to being able to rest. Well, Solomon told you there's only one. Now, I've already told you who that one is. That one man out of the 1,000. You understand? Now we need to understand why there are no women out of 1,000. There are none. Because I told you, we know the old breakdown. We know how our old mind breaks that down. And how does it break it down? Watch how death comes in. And watch how the interpretation is death. And you guys know. Watch. The carnal mind hears that and says, okay, so that means that everybody's wicked except for a small little group. Probably only 1 out of 1,000 men is a righteous man. Everybody else wicked as hell. Okay? And then it says the women ain't no righteous women. They all wicked as fuck. Do you see that there? So when you walk forward with that attitude, how are you going to feel and treat people? Based off of that interpretation that you've just got there. Okay? But we've told you what the new converted interpretation is, right? Thoughts and feelings. Whose thought is right? Who is that one man's thought? That's Christ. You see it? Right thought. Like the grandson says. Do you see? Right thought, that one thought. And what is that one thought? That is righteous. I am loved. I told you how you feel when you're loved. So what is that one thought? I am loved. Now, do you understand why God says, this is my beloved son? God says, this is my beloved, right? So then what must Christ feel? What must he think about himself? That he's what? Hated? That he's smitten? Because that's what men say. They say they consider him smitten of God and rejected and hated. See how men can't judge righteous judgment? Can't you see it? Because is that the truth? Is that the reality? Or is he loved? Well, this is my beloved son was the word that the Father said. So does it matter what men say? Does it matter if men spit in your face? Does it matter if men misunderstand and call you Beelzebub? Isn't that ironic that God says he loves you, but men say you're a devil? God says he loves you, but men say you're a glutton. God says he loves you, but men say you're a winebibber. God says he loves you, but men says you're the prince of demons. God says he loves you, but men say you're blasphemous. Do you see what I mean? Now, isn't it clear to see that what Yahshua had to do? He had to block out the 999 unrighteous thoughts to remain the one thought that he was, the righteous thought that he was. Now, when he was feeling that righteous thought and he was tempted, what kind of feelings was he feeling, little flock? When they came and took him and arrested him, what did you notice about how his feelings became? We know what they were like before. Well, let's talk about the way they were before he was taken so that you can understand searching for a woman and not finding a righteous one. Not one. Yahushua's in the Garden of Gethsemane and he's praying and he's in anguish and he's in sorrow. See those feelings? And he's looking for some type of solace or relief or rest from that. Correct? If let this cup pass for me, if it be so, let this cup pass for me. See what I'm saying to you? See? But nevertheless, let your will. See what I'm trying to tell you guys about knowing his will? What is the will of God? I'll make it plain and easy for anybody to understand. And then you compare it to what other people have told you, and then you see if it connects like a Lego or not. The will of God is knowing that you're loved. Living like a person who is loved would live, because they would live peacefully. They would live harmlessly. They would live wisely. They would live joyfully, wouldn't they? They would have good cheer, wouldn't they? Wouldn't you if you were in love? Have you ever been in love? And isn't that how you felt? You didn't care about anything else. You were free. So then back to Yahushua. And when they came and took him, after the blood and the sweat and the praying and the saying, let this cup pass from me, but nevertheless, let your will be done. So now that we know what the will is, then he's going to remain in a state of a being who is loved despite what is going to happen to him that day. Correct? Now that you know what it means. So then let's see if that's true. When they came and took him, the scripture says, like a lamb to the slaughter, like a lamb before the shearers is silent, he opened not his mouth. So then he turned off emotions, didn't he? The sea became calm, peace and still, didn't it? Within him. So then I'm going to ask you, what woman out of the 1,000 was right during the hour of temptation? In other words, what feelings, what emotions that come to you should you choose during a stormy situation? Which one of those emotions that come to you should you choose? Look how we breaking this down, and can't nobody lie, and can't nobody say that this isn't wisdom. Because how else could this be broken down this way if it's not wisdom speaking to you? How else could this be known? Since the word is spiritually discerned, how else am I discerning this for you? Are you able to discern it today? Is this new wine for you? Interesting. Interesting. So there's a new wineskin, which is your mind, but there has to be someone to pour some new wine into it. Is some new wine being poured into your mind today? Interesting. So when you're in an argument, do emotions start to be offered to you? Come on. Come on. Don't lie to me. Now describe the type of emotions that are offered to you during an argument. Anger, wrath, malice, vindictiveness, impatience, right? And the like, unkindness, unmercifulness, violence. This is what you feel during an altercation or a disagreement or an argument. These are the thoughts, these are the feelings that are offered, I should say, to you during that type of situation. So which one should you take? I told you what they are. You got malice on the table. You got wrath. You got murder on there. What else you got? Y'all know what comes. Now, which one should you take as a wife? Which one should you make one with yourself? Which one should you make yourself one with out of those feelings I just told you? None of them. But is there a thought that you should take hold of during that situation? Only one. Come on! So do you understand what Solomon was saying to you now? That it has nothing to do with physical men and women. Because you could say that's the breakdown that he's saying. That I broke it down. That's what he means, grandson. He means there's only one righteous man out of 1,000 if I searched, and there isn't any righteous women out of them. That's what he means. Now, I'm going to ask you another question. Does that profit you to know that? Does it benefit you to know that breakdown you just gave me? Yeah, because when I go out in the world, then I know that every woman that I deal with is wicked, so I might as well not even deal with her. Well, isn't that a doctrine of a demon that says forbidding to marry? Oh, shit. The Bible does say that, grandson. Yep, it does. Yep, it does. Does it also say there's no male or female in the kingdom? Oh, shit. Yeah, grandson, it sure does say that. So then what do you think he's talking about? Maybe it could be what I'm talking about, huh? Now, let's see if what I've told you, if it benefits you. During a stormy, tumultuous situation, you should only hang on to one thought. I am loved. And you should release all emotions. Does that benefit you to do that when you're arguing with your wife? Does that benefit, conslicer? Does that benefit you to do that when you're standing there talking to your boss about why you deserve better? Conslicer. Does that benefit you when you're dealing with your children when they're getting all on your nerves and stressing you all out and everything? Conslicer. Does it benefit you when you're trying to present something that you've been working hard on before people and you get all nervous ahead of time and everything? Will that benefit you, what I've told you? Conslicer. When you're trying to pass the bar exam because you want to be a lawyer, but you're all nervous and you don't know if you know the right answers and you don't know if you can get it done, do you think it would benefit you to do what I've told you? Conslicer. And I can just keep going down the line, 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 down the line. So then what should I do when I face the Father? When I stand before the Father, what should I do? The same thing. I am loved. And let everything else go. Anything that's not associated with the thought I am loved, gotta go. The only woman that will be able to hang around is the woman that's associated with I am loved. And who is that woman? Would it happen to be peace, be still, calm, no see? What am I saying to you? There isn't any woman there. The woman is inside of the man. You guys can't hear what I'm saying or something? The woman is hidden inside of the man, isn't she? Isn't that where she belongs? Isn't that where she's supposed to be? Look at this. Woman think she's supposed to be everywhere else other than hidden, doesn't she? Look at the woman of Esau's world. Everything she's done to be seen of the world, nigga. She even gets her titties added to. She gets her buttocks made more visually enticing because all she cares about is what a person thinks when they look at her. Even though she's supposed to be hidden inside of her right thoughts. I am loved. And if I am loved, I don't need to flaunt myself. I don't need to show myself off to anybody. I don't need to make it about the braiding of my hair and how my hair is styled. I don't need to make it about my Tiffany's and all of my expensive jewelry that I have on. I don't need to make it about those things. But I need to make it about the what? The hidden? Is that what it says? Of course it does. The hidden man of the heart. Look at there. What covers your heart? That would be your rib cage, wouldn't it be? So then what needs to be around your heart? That woman does. And what is that woman? Peace and calm. That's what needs to surround your heart. You guys can't hear what the grandson's saying to you? Your heart needs to be surrounded with a state of peace and calm. And that state of peace and calm will surround your heart when the king is there. Who is the king? I am loved. I am loved. And so since I am loved, then there's no need for me to act like I'm not. Oh, there we have it. Because the act like I'm not is the feelings wanting to express themselves out of me, wanting to come out of her place and express herself. She's hidden. That's what God thinks is priceless. That's what he thinks is high value. A high value woman is a hidden woman. That's what God said. Quiet, meek. Quiet, guys? Did I tell you about your heart being surrounded by a state of calm and peace? That makes a quiet heart, doesn't it? That makes a meek, obedient heart, doesn't it? Because now that heart is obedient to the will of God. That's the will of God. Seeing that we are encompassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, what should we say? The cloud of witnesses is that surrounding I told you about around that city of yours, that heart of yours. Because what city is God's city? It's your heart. What mountain is God's mountain? It's your mind. You have come to a mountain that cannot be touched with human hands. So what mountain could that possibly be? An elevated state of consciousness, which is I am loved. That's the highest state of consciousness because there's nothing that can conquer love. Can there be anything that can conquer love? I will wait, but I ain't got to wait long. I will wait and let one of you smarty pants step forward and tell me what power is. And then I'm going to tell you my power is love. And then I need you to see if yours can conquer mine. Now, don't say your power is love. Don't say that because you're lying. Your power is some idol you believe in. So go ahead and be honest and say that. And then I'm going to tell you my power is love. And then when we read the Bible and we see that nothing can conquer love, then don't tell me nothing. Don't tell me a damn thing because you can't, can you? No. And that's the way I like it to be as a king. I like to conquer over niggas and wrap their ass on top of their head with my rod of iron every time they get out of line. I love doing it because that's what I'm made to do. And when you're doing what you made to do, you love doing it. That's the point of being in alignment with the will of God. So that you can actually be what you love being. And don't you love being peaceful? Don't you love being calm? Don't you love being relaxed? Don't you love being still? Unbothered? Yes, isn't that the truth? That's the highest state to be in. So that's what Solomon was trying to tell the Ecclesiastes. See, I told you, the world can't understand what he means when he says, out of 1,000 I found one man, and 1,000 I didn't find no woman. They don't know what that means. They can't break that down, nor can they understand it. It's folly to them. They don't even know what the hell, how did he even start to understand it? All they do is say, oh, okay, a man, yeah, one righteous man, no women are righteous. MGTOW time. Men need to go their own way. There ain't no righteous women no damn way, so fuck it. Cut them off. All right. That's what you believe, because I already told you about that doctrine of demons, didn't I? Telling men to forbid to marry, telling them to abstain from meats. I see it all over the earth. Carnally minded people try to tell you how to serve a spiritual God. Get the fuck out of my way, you fleshly damn zombie ass bastards. You're not children of my father if you're coming with some type of carnal understanding. The word, let me make it clear. Yeah, let the ambulance go on you niggas to let you know what time it is. The word says that what? It is not carnally understood, nigga. So all of you people out there that give a carnal breakdown to what the word says are in folly. You are fighting against my God, aren't you? The flesh mind is carnal. It cannot please God. It is not subject to God. So you ain't got to tell me. I don't listen to you niggas tell me nothing that I stand on no way. I stand on what the Father have told me. And that make me unfallable, nigga. I can't fall. I can't stumble. I can't shift. I can't do nothing wrong, nigga. When you standing on Abba's word, he told you to do it. And he told you to have your heart surrounded with a state of peace and calm, where nothing can come in, nothing can infiltrate, nothing can break through, and nothing can distort. And that's exactly where I'm at. Because I tell you right now, when you look back to your old ways, once you're Paul and you look at Saul, how the fuck could you ever feel happy about that? How the hell could you ever feel pleased when you look back and say, damn, I was that nigga going around persecuting people? Do you know what a Pharisee means? It means somebody who judges outward appearance. Do you guys hear that? They judge outward righteousness. So Paul said, I was a Pharisee of the Pharisees. I judged outward appearance more than everybody else. So I outwardly appeared righteous more than everybody else. Don't you see it? But inwardly, I was a murderer. I was murdering my brother, persecuting them, fighting against Christ. Yeah, because when you judge outward appearance, you're not with God. You're fighting against God. And so all these people, yeah, you need to be doing this physically and doing that physically. The grandson, what he has told you today, does it require any physical labor to do what I've told you? When Yahushua was in the garden and he was having that temptation that he was having, did he do anything outside of himself? Or was the work done internally? He brought his inner state to a peace and calm, and he didn't do anything until it was calm. But when it was, that's when he went forth to his crucifixion, correct? Yes. So then before you go forward into any hard circumstance, look at what I'm telling you. Before you walk forward into any hard circumstance, whether it be an argument, whether it be a divorce settlement, whether it be enmity with a coworker, whether it be some type of family strife, whether it be any damn thing, I don't care what it is. Before you go to deal with it, you need to bring your inner state into a state of calm. Your heart has to be surrounded with peace and calm first. If it isn't, then you don't need to do anything. You don't need to speak. You don't need to move. You don't need to blink. Your ass just need to think. You hear me? All you need to do is wait on that one man to tell you what to do. And the only way you can hear what he has told you to do is to rest and be his wife. So be hidden in the bosom of a state of calm and peace in your heart. Then he will tell you what to do. And then you will listen to that one man. And you will find that that one man is indeed salvation out of every circumstance that you find yourself facing. Come on now. But if you get worked up in a frenzy internally, then you're going to give in to those emotions and you're going to become a whoremonger. And you're not going to like who you become once you become one with those feelings that I've described to you. Don't become one with any of them. Calm is not an emotion, guys. See what I'm trying to say to you? Peace and calm is not an emotional state. You have come out of the emotions. Now, before I end this message, this is what the scripture means in Revelation when it says there is no more sea. But now it has become solid. And it is a sea mingled with fire. A sea of glass mingled with fire. Do you hear that, little flock? And you're walking upon it. Do you hear it? So to walk upon water means that you have overcome the fire, you have overcome the affliction, you have become an acceptable man through the furnace of adversity, it is written. and you have become pure gold, acceptable unto God. And now you can walk upon your emotions, emotionless, knowing that I don't need to become emotional. I'm loved. I'm constantly loved. I am in a perpetual state of love. So there's no need for me to ever change from this state of calm and peace. Once I do, I'm getting dragged out of my city. If I get dragged out of my city, I'll probably die because Abba said, don't leave the house. Y'all hear what I'm saying? It's so crystal clear and so easy to understand that this message comes from God, doesn't it? And if this message comes from God, then who must I be, little flock? Salawam, Mr. Allah.